Hi, Warriors. Let's have a good week. What a Friday, huh? So here we go. We had let me say hi to a few folks here. Gran and Ingmar, Kman's here. I saw Ryan's here. Blake's here. RC, how are you? Hugo, Alexander, you too, buddy. Andrew. Okay. So German elections out of the way. I think there was some relief initially. Um, that gave way to selling where the market euro couldn't maintain the 105 level. So let me just get to my charts here. So there's the euro putting in a potential reversal day. I don't think it got to these stops. So anyway, I don't think it's great looking action considering there's a recovery in risk and it had a chance again to close over 105. I don't know how many attempts it's going to take, but it's starting to look tired. You guys see that? Similar situation with cable. It's diverging all over the place. I don't think it's going to make a new low, but it could be a nice pullback. We're getting a bounce in Japanese yen. Okay, well overdue. Um, you know, sellers. Let's see what happens here. Back at this level, maybe we're going to have sometime. See if I still lets me use this. All right, so this is what we got. All right. Maybe it's going to develop into some type of triangle. Maybe we put in a right shoulder. We'll see what happens. I guess we may as well get to risk and the S&Ps and up 30, trying to recover here. But this false breakout is the biggest feature to me. I think it's an important pivot. You're long above it, you're short underneath it. So I'd be looking for some rips to sell. 60, 80-ish if we get up there around these lows. Because intraday, I remember on Friday, when it was smashed, it tried to rally back to 60, 90, 60, not 61, but 60, 90. So, we're holding some moving averages. Let's see the daily. And even though NASDAQ is recovering, a lot of the stocks aren't doing much. And we have NVIDIA Wednesday. So, pre-market on some of the Mag 7 is, they're up, but, it's kind of like anemic so far. Here's Amazon, you know, not even though NASDAQ's up. Here's Apple, which hardly came off. I got back into Apple on Friday puts. I'm thinking I remember I was talking about 251, but with all the pressure, it couldn't get there. It's the strongest thing. It's really, that's what bothers me is the relative strength. And took a lot of selling pressure in the rest of the market to get this to come off. But still my contention that this was a 5-wave structure on the way down and that this is corrective action. And I'm wrong on closes back over 260. All right, it never got to 78.6, could still try that. And, the banks, which is something I talked about before the crash Friday, looks like they're trying to pop them. But, you have some ugly looking action. Bank of America broke an uptrend line by a lot. And, fundamentalists, when it comes to banks, besides maybe, your mid-sized banks that are in the Russell, KRE, that Bank of America is a favorite target because I guess they have the largest book with duration exposure. So anyway, banks I think have topped. 3 drives do work in this business. This was pretty classic in XLF. Look at that. Take a picture. And now I want to bring the crew in. So, Ryan, the election results, how are you, buddy? Hope you had a good weekend and great to have you back.
Yeah, hi mate. Good to be back. Nice to see you.
So I have a new RSI indicator.
Okay.
I know that the community has noticed that how could Dale live without RSI? I think I could because you can imagine it, but I've renamed it for now the real stealth indicator because it's stealth, okay? Only I could see it unless I hit this exclamation point and then everyone could see it. So I know later on in the week I'll update everyone on the RSI situation here. So what do you think, bro, on Euro USD?
I think it was very telling. We hit that 105.30 level,
Yeah.
which is the top of my zone, 105, 105.30, and it held, and we're back below 105. So it can't get a hold above 105, and it can't take out 105.30. And until we do that, this has got zero chance of going higher.
Do you
But it
short it?
is
Is it a
it's
short?
level to short it. That's the place to short it at the
Okay,
moment.
yeah. It was earlier when you had that chance up there. Now you have to risk what? 70 pips against the high?
I
Yeah.
don't think you need to. The problem we've got with the euro is that there's big levels all the way up. Just above 105.30, we start getting into the fibs of the 112 move and the December phase. I think it is the November phase. And then you got the 106 level, which is the next big stepping stone.
Yeah.
So, it's even if you get a break above 105.30, I don't expect it to go to 107 in a blink. It's got a lot of traffic up here. But
Uh,
it's keeping that uptrend from 102, that last low. So I think if we get a quick move from here, because it's holding support 104, 50, 60, that old area as well. So if it holds here and moves back up, then maybe you do get a break. But can it get through 105, 50,
yeah. Yeah. So
70,
yeah. So it's
80, and up to 106? That's another question altogether.
okay. So what do you have any conviction or new trading ideas for today?
New trading ideas. Yeah, I think I missed the 149 area in dollar yen. That was my next big level below 152, and
Yeah,
it's
nice
a big
bounce.
level. 148, 80, 85 is a level that I've had on my chart for quite some time. It goes all the way back to 2023. The 149 2025 is the 50 fib of the big move up. So it's a big old level. If we're under 149, we're probably heading 147, maybe even more. But if
Yeah.
we there's every chance of a bounce. And yeah,
51 level, 51
yeah.
and a half.
It's funny that the first time we got down here and then bounced, we got right to that break point 50/80s.
Yeah.
We were nudging under there a few times, and then we broke it. We came back up, and we found resistance right into that. So yeah,
Yeah.
150/80, 151 is your level. 152 thereafter.
Gotcha. One thing that the 10-year is approaching, I think, a pretty critical area. I have to go to
Yeah,
the daily to show it around 434. That's still 10 bips.
yeah, I've got
You
that
know,
number as well.
I have this line right across it. So, I'd be careful about buying bonds now. It was a great buy. If you did it, if you bought bonds and stayed long after this day here, you're a market maven. Okay. So you're a superstar. I'd be looking for this to be running out of steam and the 10-year. So does that mean if rates are done falling and they start heading up again, that it's going to be risk on with that going on, or is that going to add more pressure to what we have going on in risk anyway? What do you
That's
think?
a very good question. I mean, the thing that I'm grasping at the moment, if you look at the fundamentals, the US is still holding up. So why isn't yields holding up? Why isn't the dollar still holding up? Okay, it's not dropping significantly, but it's looking a little on the soft side. We
Yeah.
know that 450 level is a big pivot in that 10-year yield. But I mean, the market's happy. You know, all it's doing is if you're trading rate futures, then you're probably making money between the market deciding whether they're going to cut in June, September, December, whatever, because it keeps shifting around every data point. But yeah, if that yield's heading lower, below that 434, I don't know why you'd want to see the dollar going higher. It's probably going to be heading much, much lower. But if that happens while you've still got a strong economy, then something else is driving the bus.
Yeah, like supply.
Yeah, or risk or something like that.
Okay. All right.
So,
So
so that might be a situation where you see yields coming down and the dollar rallying if it's a risk trade.
yeah, that would, well, that's what happened Friday.
Yeah, we've seen it before.
Yeah. So anyway, so we'll see what happens here. Equality of this, I just did in my head, would take it more down towards 420 if we had equal leg from here. So I think it's a big week. We have PCE Friday. So I, may jockey around till the end of the week, but I think Friday's decision day for rates, don't
Yeah,
you? Yeah.
yeah. I
All
think I
right.
think the inflation data this week is going to be important, just, even if it's just for short term moves, because we know there's geopolitics still going on and taking the limelight.
Okay. In the Dixie last week, um, I said that the first divergence is cover shorts, right? So that was here. So really, you didn't miss much, even though you had a third drive. I think this could turn out to be a pretty good reversal in the dollar. I'm not trading it. I may go with Euro shorts or something next day or so, but I have a hard time wanting to be short on a, three drive. And I think we talked about this area. I think Blake brought up 105 and a half, 105.60, wherever it is. It was close to an important technical level. So
Yeah.
be careful about getting too bulled up about you know, about Euro and Cable and Aussie here.
You've,
I go ahead,
you've been
bro.
pretty much in the zone with the Dixie, picking
Yeah,
them tops and bottoms. You know, it's good when you get like that, isn't it? When you can feel a market and
yeah,
you get its movements, you get its intricacies, and
yeah,
you have a good handle on how it's going to react, because that helps you with your trading, obviously.
yeah. Well, I've often thought that I should just stick to what I'm, you know, forecasting and trading the best instead
Yeah,
of spreading myself out into things that my hit rate is lower on.
yeah,
So, and you know what, guys? I knew guys, and I know Ryan knew guys that were in one ring, like they called it over there in the UK, and we called it a pit. That never left that one pit. They were in the cattle pit for 30 years. They didn't have to go over to they all they had to do was walk 20 feet to trade currency or trade S&P futures. But they knew one market well and they
yeah.
stuck to it. It's really all you need is one market, isn't it?
Absolutely, and I'll say this to a lot of new traders: you don't need to look at any other pair or 100 different pairs or 100 different assets. Learn how to trade one; you can trade them all.
Yep, that's it. A chart is a chart is a chart.
Yeah, price
Only
action
diff
is price action.
Yeah, the only difference is the title and
Yeah.
beta and
What?
leverage, depending on it. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Once you get the basics, the interesting part is then what makes an asset or pair move, and that's the fun stuff. That's the fundamentals and everything else. But price
Okay.
action, you learn that, you can trade anything.
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks for getting us rolling.
Cheers, mate.
And Kman, good morning to you.
Rolling, rolling, rolling. Good morning.
We are. So what are you rolling in today? EG, are you out of it?
In what, sorry?
Are you out of EG?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I'm just trading for just trading that 83 figure 5 level. That's all. For as long as we hold below, I keep the short running and see where we end up. I'm in the money, so I've. It's not that I don't wouldn't care, but I mean it's okay if I get stopped on that piece left over. But if it goes lower, all the better. For the rest, not an awful lot. I'm a slight, yeah, I'm small short dollar, Dale. I bought some Kiwi, some Aussie again, and I'm a little bit in cable again, just trying to see if the support levels are the immediate support levels are going to hold.
Right.
But I have no like big ideas.
Aussie looks better than Euro. I mean, look at the candle here.
Yeah, yeah,
You
and
know,
it's
and at least it's making upward progress where, Euro's pretty stalled here
yeah.
for over a month, right? Going
We're
back
talking.
to January.
Yeah, we're talking that about that again on the Flow Show, and I'm still not convinced the euro is the best instrument to formulate a if one is a bit with a short dollar bias. I don't think it's the euro yet. Things may change, but I'm still not a big fan of the euro. And you look at how the market reacted post those German elections. You saw all the euro crosses having a bit of relief, and we're already back to where we were before. And that, to me, still tells enough about the euro. It's still not my favorite one.
All right. Well, when Stelios isn't here, you're our gold maven.
Yeah, um,
So it looks like we're threatening new highs again here.
yeah, yeah. Well, you know what? I thought we would see a bit of a lower correction
Yeah.
because of um, some kind of. We don't know whether everything is going to be positive or not, but some kind of positive, more positive news. But then I think this time it's probably supported also by the lower interest rates across the board, and that is helping it now again. It doesn't seem that this is going to correct much.
Yeah.
Silver is a different story. That's turning around 32 and a half, but gold, it's just you can't hold it down. You just can't hold it down. And
They look like two, they're not even related to each other.
yeah, exactly.
It's like they're not even in the same sector.
No,
Um,
they yeah, but
it,
they do have different sensibilities, right? Or
yeah,
sensitiveness to what's happening in the markets. That is one thing, and the other one that just can't hold a bid is oil. I mean, it just can't. I mean, there were so many reasons for it to get back up, but here we are again, threatening to break back below 70 bucks. Sorry. So that's the other thing that I note with interest, and that's about it. For the rest, situations are fluid a bit everywhere, and I will react to those situations rather than trying to bet on them right now.
yeah. I've had this line drawn for over a year.
I think it's going, Dale. I really think it's going. Just can't.
That's
Look
about
look at what
62,
you are.
63.
Yeah, you are on the right chart there. Look at what happened since 2022.
Yeah,
Look, high spike and then
yeah,
spike
yeah.
and then a big move down. Spike and not as high as the prior one. And you can just since 2023, all the spikes have failed lower than the prior one.
Yeah,
And
we had this one false breakout here. Well,
yeah,
it depends how thick your line was, but
yeah,
you know,
and just the simple noting the simple thing is that we never went higher than the prior high. So
yeah, yeah.
this
It's a
to
long time in a range. That's what Tracy said. It's compressing too.
mm,
So it can't stay in here forever.
it can,
Uh,
yeah, it
well,
can.
I guess it can, but I think eventually. Anyway, I was thinking of maybe trying it down there. If it got down there, that's still like, $8 away. Some people are looking for a low in the 68 level. They think that's going to hold too. I've seen that. And I just want to point out in the precious metal arena that the gold silver ratio, which I thought had topped uh, here,
Mm,
and it was a good trade. It topped. but it's going back. It's going for them. Okay, so we could see new highs and recovery highs here, maybe even to 94. That's not the best time to be long silver.
Yeah, the thing is, there's a lot going on, but one of the things that is going on, and the market looks to really want to trade it, or is trading it, is still that theme of like, do we need to get rid of the dollar and go into something else? But the problem is, you go into what else, and then the logic thing would be like, oh, you know what? In doubt, let's buy some gold. I've got this kind of feeling in the market
Yeah.
right now, where it's just like you don't know what else to buy. Buy gold. It's going to go one day or another. Just I still think it's one of the trades of 2025, but it all depends how hard those tariffs will get, and Trump, what he's going to do with them.
Well, it seemed to succumb because it fought the risk-off decline all day till the end.
Mm,
It actually came back while risk off. It was, but finished down 6. But the week, was a great week. A blue candle. We're starting off with a blue candle. The
yeah.
only thing I'd say is uh, be aware of it making new highs and then starting to trade lower on the week, because we're not that far from new highs,
Mm.
and it's early in the week, so they could have a chance, especially maybe the P.C.E comes in benign or yields head up again if it's not benign. I just think it's late to be in this trade, but I've
Yeah. Oh,
said that
yeah.
for about
Mm. If
new
you haven't
money
read
anyway.
Yeah, if you haven't ridden it, I mean, you're forced to trade it shorter term. I mean, it's maybe a bit. I'm not going to say ridiculous, but it's perhaps of not great use to start to buy at 29.50 if you think you're gonna hit 3,000 and then come back. Even if there is $50 to make, that's not a medium term position in this instrument. But if you're long from lower, I mean, there's no reason to step out of them, right?
Yeah, yeah. What you ask yourself, would you reverse
Hmm.
if you're thinking of getting out? So, the other thing is, gold didn't correct much, but the pressure of the market uh, got to a lot of these miners. So a lot weaker than the gold was, more because of pressure in the market. So it's still a stock. These miners are still stocks, and they weren't able to fight off the downside pressure. I'll bring Blake in because there's not a lot of time left. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, coach. Hey,
Hey,
everybody.
how's it going?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah,
I'm dealing with some personal issues. So other than that, the market's all right. I'm actually kind of uh conflicted on how I should be trading the dollar and everything after this week after these weekend results, and I'm not convinced one way or the other, and I'm just kind of looking for some inspiration, I guess, in the markets. And,
yeah,
listening to what you guys are talking about, whether, you're talking about the dollar or whatnot, I just think the dollar's at a very key inflection point. And I know, thinking about this, as we approach this next weekend upcoming, with tariffs that are set to, supposedly, take place for Canada and Mexico. I think a lot of people are going to be sidelined between now and then, and maybe shore up some of their Canadian or Mexican peso positions as you go into the this weekend or the rest of the week. And I think the dollar Canadian is actually very vulnerable to, I thought it was gonna break down, but if everything follows through with tariffs this week, we could see the Canadian come back under pressure. So I
yeah.
don't know. I'm kind of up in the air right now, and like I said, I'm looking for some inspiration. I bought some euros earlier. I heard what Kman was just saying about the euro, saying that I don't think that is maybe the best vehicle, which I don't disagree. Either with that. but I picked up the euro just because it was I mean, I was trading at 105.25 last night when I went to bed, and it's come off a little bit. So, more of a reversion to the mean type of thing, as far as I'm concerned, with what the euro is doing. But other than that, I think that there's a little bit of a double top setting up, but at the same time, if we break out to the upside, we have a 38%
Yeah.
retracement the long term. So it's like I don't know if I want to, chase the euro higher, if you will. So it's a difficult one. It really is a difficult one right now, with everything that's happening. So
I think that the S&Ps, well, almost all the indexes last week, they had a reversal week, but even more macro, they're lower on the month going into the last week of the month. So I don't know. Why don't you pull up a monthly candle in S&Ps and see what that could look like? It's hard to see.
here
Oh, yeah,
I'll
yeah, there you go. All right,
yeah.
so that's showing it higher on the month. Okay, so the monthly close I think is going to be important.
Yeah. No, I
The,
don't disagree with you. I do agree with you as far as that goes. But again, I'm searching for inspiration in the markets right now, and sometimes, and this is like conversations that we have, in the Forex Analytics community, in our chat rooms. If you guys are, inside of our chat rooms, we have these types of conversations from time to time when, you get to this point where you're like, I'm not really too sure what I want to be trading at the moment. And it's okay. It's okay to be, to not have a huge bias, from time to time. So, let me ask Ryan really quick, because him and Kman have been around, up and around for hours now, taking everything in. I mean, Ryan, where are you going to be searching for some inspiration in the FX market? And is it okay not to have an opinion at this point?
If I didn't know, I'd say you watched the Flow Show this morning, because we were saying exactly that it's pretty difficult to have a bias,
Yeah.
right now, because if you're a fundamental trader, fine, you can trade the fundamentals, but you got to deal with the moves from the geopolitics. And if you're trading the techs, then your techs get blown up by data or the geopolitics. So we all have biases. When you've been doing it this long, you have a bias. You know whether you want to be on the long side, or you know which side's more favorable to trade on any asset or pair. But we're at this point now where, I don't know if I want to be long dollars, short dollars, and what long dollars against, short dollars against, long euro. It's one of those. And when you get those moments, well, you just rely on the text, and you draw your charts, and you see, right, well, where can I trade where I don't need a bias? Dollar CAD's a perfect one. We had the breakdown, we had a low, and now we're stuck in this range. And you've got two levels. You don't need a bias. You trade whichever side breaks. It's either going to break back above the 42.65 level that broke down, or it's going to trade below 141.40 and head to 141.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you don't have an idea, if you don't have a bias, just trade the charts. Pick your
Yeah, and
levels.
this is
That's it.
a really wonderful example because of what we're facing this weekend. I mean, look, we all knew that this is a big breakdown point, is at 142.50, 142.60. If tariffs get pushed through this weekend, and and the Trump administration actually moves forward with them, it should be very negative for the Canadian economy. And I think a lot of the reasons why we've seen this big reversal here, it's because, we've had this, moment in time over the last month and a half, where people are like, Trump doesn't mean business. He doesn't, he means business. I mean, he's using it as
they're in for a rude awakening.
yeah. And I met with Jim Welsh, as I do every week, and and I know he's a friend of yours, Dale, and I know you guys talk from time to time, but he really thinks, and he really believes that the Trump administration wants to do something spectacular with, rearranging the global order, if you will. And I'm not really sure if I'm in that camp. I'm like, hasn't the whole, I mean, I'm still in the I have to see it to believe it. And I think the market's in that mode too. I mean, that's one of the reasons why you've seen the big reversal in the Canadian. But as you just pointed out, Dale, maybe the world's in for a rude awakening. And if they are, and if we are, this dollar CAD could really be,
Could rip to new highs if it got crazy.
yeah, it really could. So,
And no one's
anyway,
thinking that. No one's thinking that.
no, I think everybody believes that, it's just a negotiation tactic.
Yeah.
And, March 1st is going to come and the Trump administration is going to say, hey, we got this grand deal with USMCA. We're going to sit down and we're going to figure it out. And so, and then from there, the dollar Canadian will break through support here, as Ryan's pointing out. There's your range bottom, and then we make our way towards 140. So I think we've just got to let the market show us its hand. And I know we're out of time, and I know you have your interview starting, but it's okay, guys, to not have a huge bias. And it's funny that I didn't hear that part of your flow show this morning, Ryan. I was working on some other things with and for those of you that are downloading the mobile apps on the Apple Store and the Google Play Store, I was working on the Google Play Store this morning. We had to provide some it's more of like more company information to put it to get the app back on the store. So I've been doing things like that since I've been up this morning. I have not had a time to really focus on all the market dynamics, but I do feel that I'm a little unbiased right now on everything, and I think it's okay hearing what Ryan and Kman are saying today as well. So anyway,
Okay.
yeah. So hey guys, just this is going to be, in my opinion, it's still going to be a really, really busy week this week. We have PCE at the end of the week. We have NVIDIA earnings on Wednesday. There's a lot of events that I think are going to be potential market movers, like Australian CPI. So the best place to be is in the Forex Analytics chat room. That's where it's all happening. And remember, just take your trial of Forex Analytics. It's $1 for 10 days. Be in here, talk about the markets and how we're seeing everything, and have those conversations with other like-minded people. So, Dale, I'm going to pass it over to you, buddy.
Okay. Thank you, team. Kay, thank you. Ryan,
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, mate.
Prepped everyone and let them know, because a lot of people think they have to trade. It's not law. Besides not having a bias, you can also, if you don't have a bias or an opinion, that means you should be doing nothing and let the picture clear and wait for a trade that will hit you right in the face. It's so compelling you can't ignore it, because it would be aggravating to watch it go without you. You'd rather be stopped out than miss the opportunity. So wait for a trade like that. And with that being said, Leo Hart, welcome back to F.A.C.E, buddy. It's great to have you here. I had a very interesting conversation with you last time. How are things going? And has the new political environment, Leo, done anything to change your work? You were a Bitcoin bull. We had a nice run after you were here. Where do you stand on Bitcoin now, Leo?
Yes, good morning, everyone. Glad to be here, and um, it's a pleasure to talk to you and discuss stuff. And I will start with your question. Actually, last month or two, we were quite surprised that the bull run paused for a moment, for a few weeks. And
do you want to share your screen, Leo? It's at the bottom.
Sure.
Let me see your setup here. There we go.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And before we go to the recent updates, I will start with the very beginning. So this is my first trading idea on TradingView, which is exactly 18 months ago, August 23.
Yeah.
And let's see how it started. I just built the model. The blue line is a power law and the sinusoidal wave, which is
Yeah.
a damped harmonic oscillation model around the power law. And in August 23, we were here, just the beginning of the new
Right.
cycle. And
Yeah.
let's see how it went. Just went up and went
Right.
down, went up again, and we are flatting right now. So we're still within the channel. The
Okay.
channel predicts continuation of the bull run and the top somewhere mid-year, end of year, somewhere here. Actually, I was expecting a little bit steeper increase in this phase, but this decline a little bit disappointing.
Let me ask you
Yeah,
this on that
yeah,
last chart you were showing, Leo. We're
another one,
holding
the same one, basically.
okay, well it showed the green, it showed all the lines and we were on the bottom line.
Right,
Uh,
exactly.
okay, so if we take out that bottom line, I'm not sure is that, what do you do? Is that like the market, is that a get out of the way signal? If it breaks this sine wave, the lowest, probably the longest term magnitude doesn't spend a lot of time there. I noticed to the left.
Yeah, it's just
It
3%, 3% of time below this the green line.
okay. What happens if you get a clean break of it?
I consider if we stay longer than 2 weeks below this line, then I will probably need to reevaluate some parameters, move a little
Okay.
bit. You
Okay.
see, there was a case right here in
Oh
the
yeah.
16, 17, this prolongation of the bull run related to ICO phase, ICO introduction, and Bitcoin was a little bit suppressed with liquidity going into altcoins. Um, uh,
Yeah.
could
Yeah.
happen. It happened in 2019. We went up when the Tether was introduced, and that Tether was a new way of attracting new investors through Tether and then to Bitcoin. But generally, the wave captures the whole history of data from 2009,
Yeah.
actually October 2009, and therefore I don't expect the price going above or below for long. It could be
Okay.
like days or 1 week, but
Okay. So
not
what
far.
you, so
Not,
I mean, based upon your system,
yeah.
Bitcoin's a decent buy against the lower end of the range of your sine wave.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's just the basic the base line within the corridor, the wave corridor is a best buy zone.
Would
Uh,
75,000 change it? Because there are technical targets that take it back to the breakout. That's where the breakout was at 75,000 for the last run.
mhm.
If we close under 90, we flirted with it a few times. If we get a clean break of 90 grand, that's going to measure like 75 or 70. Would that change the picture for you?
If it goes briefly, then it doesn't change the picture. If
Okay.
it goes for a long time, then something changed. That will be indicator of some substantial change in the pattern.
Okay.
Uh,
All right. So,
yeah.
and anything else you are keeping an eye on that in this new year that we're in, and
Yeah,
new political
with
environment?
yeah, definitely I was expecting something like this, and this didn't happen. This really didn't
Okay.
happen.
Thank you
Uh,
for your transparency.
yes, but no, no.
Yeah. There's some
That's
people, well, you know what, Leo, it's true. Do you ever hear people say, well, I was wrong. It didn't go to according to plan. They just don't even talk about it anymore.
yeah,
It's like, or
that's
they revise it. Anyway, I
yeah, but
appreciate because no one's perfect
right.
in the market, no system, no wave. It's a matter of probabilities, and probabilities are,
Absolutely, yeah,
they're
and
not certainties,
I consider my model as a nested model. It's like a tree. There are thick branches of the tree, the roots, and there are smaller branches which flex more. And this some short-term technical analysis lines they may not hold um, for a short time. I mean, they can break, but the long-term patterns they definitely play. For example, the power law is always in place, and the band, the total band is also playing good. The minimum and the maximum zone they play pretty well, and it takes years to break them or to change the pattern. But the
Yes.
smaller patterns, like expectations of the of faster bull run, they definitely can go wrong, like this one. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
disappointing.
Okay. So you're a
Just
little
go
disappointed.
sideways.
So, you know, your work, do you look at eclipses?
Solar eclipses?
Eclipses. You look at eclipses. Like we
Right.
have a lunar eclipse coming up, an eclipse series. I think the
No,
lunar is the
I
14th.
saw people posting about this, and I respect this work, but I don't look specific. I don't find the correlation. I look at the elections and the halvings events, for example. I think these are two most important events affecting the tops. And some people link the tops to the 4-year cycle, basically linking to elections, which happens
Okay.
every 4 years. And
Okay.
this estimation goes to the end of the year, like November or something. But
Okay.
um, I consider the tops linked to halvings more than elections. So for me, the cycle is like 47 months. It's 1 month shorter than the 4 years, and therefore the halvings and elections they kind of diverge. Here, they in 2012 they were just almost at the same time, but then the distance began to increase, and therefore we had the double top last time. So first top was linked to halving somehow, but second top was linked to election, and
Okay.
now the distance even greater. It's increased like 20 days or something more than before, and right now we kind of skip the first stop, probably going towards the end of the wave, probably in the summer, but usually summer is not a good time to have a market top. There's
Yeah. Usually
selling
the
may go
fall.
away.
Yeah.
It should be either May or September,
Okay.
probably. So
And did you
September.
say housing along with presidential? You said housing
No,
affects it?
well, probably not. Just misspelled something.
Okay. Well, you said elections and one other factor. What was that other factor?
Elections and halving events.
Havings.
Halving, yeah.
Okay. All right. I got you now. All right.
Sorry.
All right. And that's okay. Your English is better than my ability to speak in your native language. So, okay. So that's a pretty good roadmap. You'd be
Mhm.
buying this pullback, and you'd consider 75,000 in Bitcoin a gift.
Right now, yes, definitely. And the next bottom will be somewhere around 75,000. If we
Oh,
go
you think
to,
we are going to go to 75,000?
yeah, probably here in
Yeah.
26 in 2026 in the
Okay.
summer. It's
Okay. So that's after higher first and then back down.
yeah, definitely. We go
All
high
right.
first, and actually, right now I don't expect 75 because the bottom
Yeah.
of the wave is around 89,
Okay.
and uh, here it's about 89, and we
Okay.
don't usually break it down for long, at least.
Okay.
Yeah, here I can
You you're
get
following gold?
no.
No
Uh,
gold. The stock markets, mainly just Bitcoin. That's it. And
Just yeah, I follow just Bitcoin because it's completely different from the other markets.
Everything, yeah,
Especially in mathematically, I model the logarithm of Bitcoin because it
right.
behaves in logarithmic term. We always see it in logarithmic scale because just the multiple like percentages matter or multiples or excess. We see the excess how it increases and not the dollar amounts. We
Okay,
don't measure it in dollars, in dollar
okay,
amounts. Yeah.
okay. You know, a lot of people in the attendees in the crowd are saying things like, "This guy is fantastic."
Thank you.
So, you know, we have a pretty sophisticated audience that see all kinds of work, so they're not easily impressed. So, you're getting good reception on this. Anything else market-wise that you want to talk to us about?
Oh, just there is a good discussion about what is the effect of the ETFs and
Oh yeah,
MicroStrategy or strategy right now,
oh yeah,
or strategic reserves.
yeah,
These are all definitely the bullish signs, but from the fundamental point of view, and it's kind of hurting the idea of Bitcoin. If people just trade Bitcoin on the exchanges or stock exchanges or futures exchanges, they don't really go out of the system in terms of the payment and self-storage and other benefits
right.
of holding Bitcoin.
Yeah, they're
And
just trading it like it's another instrument.
another
Yeah,
asset.
yeah, it's just another, you know, CFDs, whatever. You know,
And
they're just
eventually
trading it.
it
They don't
diminishes.
own it. They're not hodlers.
Absolutely.
And
And
you profess everyone should be a hodler. That's the main reason for owning this is to be decentralized.
sure,
Okay.
absolutely.
So,
And I
okay.
believe that this diminishes the public interest in joining this system in the first place.
Right.
And also that too much of the centralized control by the BlackRock or
Yeah, Larry
other
Fink.
institutions over Bitcoin can eventually lead to them trying to change the code, introduce some other inflation model in Bitcoin, like BlackRock suggested.
What's the biggest nightmare for Bitcoin holders? The grid going down?
Probably the banking grid will go down first, and then Bitcoin is more stable and more robust.
Okay. Okay. So the fear is actually that there's
The
a
fear
banking
is
crisis.
51% attack and change of code, some attacks, administrative attacks on Bitcoin first.
Okay, so the government deciding they don't want, yeah, they don't want people to have that freedom, and
Yeah, they have to.
they're losing control of
Yes,
their currency.
exactly.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Well, I tell you what, you've never had uh who would have thought you'd have an advocate like this? I mean, people didn't know for a while what President Trump used to think it was a scam in his
Yes.
first term, right? Yeah, that's what he
Right.
said.
Yeah.
Totally embraced it. So you have an ally in the White House, I think. Um, I want to go a little bit into another area
Mhm.
because I know a little bit about you. We exchanged a few DMs on X, and I think you have ideas that no one really ever explained to us. What were those quote unquote drones that were flying around all over the world, concentrated on the East Coast? What do you think they were, Leo? Because I know you pay attention to what's not only happening here on what is it, Tierra Firma, and what's going on in other worlds. Do you have a
Right.
belief or a view on what
Yes,
that was?
I'm ready to share some knowledge, but I start with Bitcoin. I do believe that Bitcoin is the technology which were given to people in the precise manner. It's perfect from the beginning. That's the key point. It's very strange because, of course, some components of Bitcoin were known before, but not all. And Satoshi just introduced it in a way which we didn't see before. It's a perfect system just given as a whole, and it contains several elements which the humanity had to spend like 20 years to develop to come to this system. So I believe the system was tested somewhere else. So it's a ready system implemented somewhere else on other planets, and I believe that we have some process of disclosure, and the first contacts made in the open form, and the drones. There are two types of drones. So one type is human-made, and another one is non-human. Why I think so? There was such a phenomenon like crop circles, and there are two types
Yes.
of crop circles you probably know. Human-made,
Yeah.
definitely they exist. There are groups, circle makers, or some dudes in England. They do make crops, but there are definitely crops which we'll call genuine, and they have some properties that humans cannot reproduce. And this genuine or um, non-earth non-earth origin crop circles is the first sign of contact. And the drones is another instance. Definitely, we have some hidden technologies which government possesses, and reverse engineering technologies, and other deep projects technologies, which, for example, the blue beam technologies to beam and holographic project the objects in the sky, but
Yeah.
not all. But not all. And there are definitely some genuine interstellar communication objects coming to our solar system and appearing in our sky. So that's the
Why now?
why
Or
now.
has this been going on for a long time, just not at the same intensity?
Definitely not same intensity. Long, relatively long, like 50 years long period. It's not
Uh,
really, it's really short in the cosmic term. And why now? Because we're coming some very special cosmic event, which is the solar, we call it micronova event, which is currently known as periodically exploding stars. This is not a big explosion like a supernova. It's much smaller, but greater than X class or something stronger than X class solar
so where
flares.
is that going to fry our grid?
Kind of, yes, exactly. And we need to prepare. And the drones designed for us to accelerate our preparation, and we need to go to a completely different societal structure and financial structure. And I believe that this year we will hear the introduction or first steps or testing of a new financial system based on the blockchain. So I believe Bitcoin is like a preliminary step just to prepare the humanity to use self-custody, wallets, blockchain, to be independent and not rely on the government. But the next system will be even better than Bitcoin. It's not altcoins, definitely. It's not human-made. It's not made by speculators. It should be kind of quantum-based technology, which
Oh, okay.
will be much wider accepted and will have stronger security than Bitcoin itself.
Okay. So, what are your preparations for what you see coming? And maybe some people should
Yeah, I
model.
I think people should learn the underlying security technology in the blockchain, especially in Bitcoin, and using Lightning Network is an additional layer 2 solution for Bitcoin. And also the whole economy, the people need to learn how economy can survive, can work without the greed, the banking greed. In some countries like El Salvador or some islands, Bitcoiners teach local communities to use Bitcoin everywhere, and it's easy to implement. Every cellular phone, like a mobile phone, can have a wallet, and also can be a store to sell services. And this is important preparation.
So that El Salvador is probably a very good test case for this, right?
Definitely, sure. Yeah.
Things going okay down there. Things are improving because they've made this stand in transition. Are they getting better?
Well, I haven't been there, but I believe it's getting better in terms of the security in the country, and also working together, the Bitcoin community and the government, implementing and introducing to people the new type of economic relations and integration into world economy. And this way, Bitcoin kind of uniting. It's a global currency, basically.
Yeah,
It's a
right.
new global currency. So people need to get used to this global economy, no borders, no control,
Yeah.
economic relation connections across continents.
Wow. Going to be the wild, wild west, right, buddy? You know, I want to, okay, let's wrap it with this.
Yeah.
So the government knows what's going on. Many governments know what's going on as far as non-human activities.
And
When
the
is when?
new administration, a lot of people in new administration, they are quite familiar, and I believe Elon
Okay.
Musk as well, because this degree, the Starlink system probably will be used as a part of the delivery system to the new financial system.
Okay, so when's the unveiling for the common man like me?
I believe we can hear about this year, or maybe by summer.
And you know, some people are saying they're going to use that hologram projection that looks real
Yeah.
to, you know, for it to be a deception and kind of like a
Yeah.
false flag. I mean, is there, if there's one thing that could unite humanity, is an adversary or something different than humans. Do you believe they're coming here for our good?
Absolutely for good, yes,
Okay.
but there could be some deception and false flags, trying to make fear, to scare people, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I tell you, you're an interesting guy, Leo.
Thank you.
Really, you know, and I listen, everyone who's here live or sees this on video, follow Leo. Do you have a website, Leo, where people could go and read
Right.
your stuff?
Yes, I have website bitcoinwave.net, and also I'm going to introduce Discord server uh, where
Okay.
I'm going to discuss more topics than in X. I want to focus on Bitcoin only.
Okay.
People demand it.
Okay. Well, maybe you'll teach me how to set up a wallet, because to me, a
Oh,
wallet is made out of leather.
all right. Yeah. Also, yeah,
You know,
I'm
I'm an old timer, you know. In fact, what is it? You get to a point in the cycle of your life where everything is changing so fast, it's hard to keep up with it, and you become an anachronism.
also not only wallets, I will be teaching people how to accept payments in Bitcoin. So I just set up
Okay,
a BTC Pay server, and I will be accepting payments in Bitcoin only.
cool.
Yeah.
Leo Hart. Follow Leo at Leo Math Hart
Thank you.
and get educated for what's around the corner, you know. There's as Dylan says, there's a change a coming. So be part of it or be left out. So I really appreciate you being here, Leo. I'm going to look forward to talking to you in about 3, 4 months, maybe May, and
Yeah.
see how things are going. And thank you for coming here and sharing your wisdom with our community.
Sure.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone.
Leo Hart, everyone, who teaches and trades with his heart, and you may not know it, but you are too. Right, Leo? They don't know they're trading with their heart. They think they're using their head. But your heart is also your brain. So follow Leo, and that's going to be a wrap. You could be with the team in 15 minutes. Yeah, the heart has brain cells. There you go. People are aware in here. On the morning edge in 15 minutes. Good hunting the rest of the day, everyone. And remember, don't just count your brain cells in your heart, count your blessings. Adios, everyone. Thanks again, Leo. Oh, there you go.